There are photos that capture the beauty of life, fleeting moments that we don't want to forget. The memory becomes a frozen moment in time, tangible evidence we can point to when our memory deceives us. But every now and then, a photograph is taken that does more than just capture a memory. Some images instead capture something unsettling. In today's episode, we head back into the world of unexplained photographs for the fourth time, where 5 more mysterious photos defy logic and challenge our reality. Throughout history, experts have tried to offer logical solutions for what you're about to see, but some believe these photographs might hold the key to understanding the unknown, unsolved, and unexplained. Are they mere accidents of the camera lens, carefully crafted hoaxes, or evidence of forces beyond our comprehension? Sit back, grab your seat by the fire, and prepare for a journey into the unexplainable. Welcome back to Fireside Unsolved, Episode 109, 5 Mysterious Photos That Cannot Be Explained, Part 4. In 2008, a kayaking tourist made a discovery that would fascinate the imaginations of explorers, historians, and mystery enthusiasts. While paddling through the remote islands of Canada's Pacific Rim National Park Reserve, she stumbled on what appeared to be a face etched into a towering cliffside. Amazed, she snapped a few photos before making her way back to shore. But when she tried to retrace her route, its exact location slipped from her memory. Despite her best efforts and even the searches of others intrigued by her story, the mysterious face in the rocks remained elusive, until now. After 2 years of tireless searching, Hank Gus, a member of the Sechat First Nation, has finally rediscovered the face that once seemed lost to time. Hidden on Reeks Island, one of the Broken Group Islands in British Columbia, this remarkable natural formation stands an impressive 7 feet tall, according to reports from ABC News. Gus observed that the face bears an uncanny resemblance to a wooden carving that adorns the door of the Sechat Administration Office, a striking connection to the rich cultural heritage of his people. "It's pretty noticeable from the water. It's quite large," Gus told CTV News. "But it's high up on the cliff, and the surrounding rocky terrain makes it really difficult to access. The dangerous landscape has likely contributed to why it remained hidden for so long." The Broken Group Islands are part of the ancestral lands of the Sechat First Nation, a place their people have called home for thousands of years. Hank Gus, a Sechat beachkeeper, dedicates his time to educating visitors about the area's rich history and geography. Ever since he first heard the tourist's tale of the mysterious face, Gus made it his personal mission to find it. And now, after years of searching, it has finally been located. With the discovery in hand, the Sechat First Nation is collaborating with Parks Canada to investigate its origins. Mother Nature can create some remarkable things, and this face is no exception, remarked Matthew Payne, Parks Canada's First Nations program manager, in an interview with ABC News. "We still can't say for certain whether the face was carved by human hands or if it's a natural formation. Given the deep connection that Sechat people have to this land, attention has now turned to exploring possible links to local oral traditions. The Sechat have lived here for millennia, so we're working closely with them to see if any stories or histories might shed light on the face's origins," Payne added. Whether a natural wonder or a man-made artifact, this rediscovered face stands as a powerful symbol of the mysteries that lie hidden in the wilderness, waiting to be uncovered. In 1872, American photographer William Mumler captured what is now famously known as the Ghost of Abraham Lincoln photograph. In the eerie image, a faint, ghostly figure appears to be standing over seated Mary Todd Lincoln, widow of the late president. Many who saw the photo believed the spectral figure to be none other than Abraham Lincoln himself. Mumler was no stranger to spirit photography, having pioneered the genre a decade earlier in 1862. His methods puzzled even fellow photographers like J.W. Black, who closely observed Mumler's process, yet could not explain how the ghostly figures appeared in his images. Despite growing skepticism, Mumler's career thrived, especially during the American Civil War, when the immense loss of over 600,000 lives fueled a widespread desire for spiritualism, as grieving families sought solace in the idea that their loved ones could still be seen through the lens of spirit photography. Throughout the 1860s, William Mumler was repeatedly accused of fraud, with the allegations culminating in a highly publicized trial in May 1869. The prosecution proposed several possible ways Mumler might have faked his ghostly images, including the use of double exposure. Yet despite their efforts, none of these techniques could be conclusively proven, leading to Mumler's eventual acquittal. While historian Mark Osterman later demonstrated a similar effect using two negatives and sleight of hand, the exact method behind Mumler's haunting photographs remains a mystery to this day. In February 1872, Mary Todd Lincoln, still in deep mourning nearly 7 years after her husband's tragic assassination, sat for a session with Mumler. After Lincoln's death, Mary's life had been marked by immense grief and personal struggles, including her institutionalization for mental health issues in 1875. She was eventually released into the care of her sister. Today, the infamous Ghost of Abraham Lincoln photograph is housed at the Ian Rowland Center for Lincoln Research, part of the Friends of the Lincoln collection at the Allen County Public Library in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Though the image has been widely debunked as a hoax, it remains one of the most iconic examples of 19th century spirit photography, a captivating artifact from an era where the lines between reality, grief, and the supernatural often blurred. In early 2015, Daylenn Pua, a bright and friendly teenager from South Kona on Hawaii's Big Island, had big dreams of becoming a pastry chef. A senior at Kekula o Ehunui Kai Malino, a Hawaiian immersion school in Aconcagua, Daylenn, affectionately known as Moke, was preparing to apply to culinary school after graduation. An avid outdoorsman, he frequently swam, hiked, and shared his adventures on social media. That February, while staying with his grandmother Martha Bear in Waianae for the weekend, Daylenn set his sights on a notorious challenge, the Haiku Stairs, also known as the Stairway to Heaven. This iconic but illegal trail, with 3,922 steps winding up a steep ridge, had been officially closed for decades, yet still lured adventurers from all over the world. Originally built in 1942 by the U.S. Navy to support a radio station in Haiku Valley during World War II, the stairs gained popularity in the 1970s, thanks to a feature on Magnum PI, drawing curious hikers despite the trail's closure in 1987 due to safety concerns. Sections had deteriorated over time, making the climb even more treacherous. On February 26, 2015, Daylenn told his grandmother he planned to hike in Moanalua Valley Park. When he mentioned the Haiku Stairs, she warned him about the dangers, especially after recent storms had washed out parts of the trail. But determined to experience the famed steps, Daylenn packed his red backpack and set off. By late morning, Daylenn had begun his ascent, posting updates and photos of his journey on social media. He sent several images directly to his family as well. But when he didn't return that evening, his grandmother's concern turned to fear. Knowing he had attempted the dangerous Haiku Stairs, she immediately contacted authorities. A massive search began the next morning with rescue teams from the Honolulu Fire Department, U.S. Navy, and volunteers combing the rugged terrain with drones, helicopters, and tracker dogs. But heavy rains and treacherous conditions hampered their efforts, making it impossible to reach the location where Daylenn last shared his photos. The dogs struggled to pick up a scent, and visibility was limited. On March 2nd, a few days into the search, hikers on the Haiku Stairs reported hearing cries for help from below the trail, raising hopes that Daylenn might still be alive. However, thick clouds and dangerous terrain prevented rescuers from locating the source of the calls. Despite the extensive search, which officially ended on March 3rd, Daylenn was never found. His family, refusing to give up, continued searching for 2 more days with the help of volunteers. But the harsh, unforgiving conditions made it clear how perilous the trail had become, even for experienced hikers. No trace of Daylenn, his body, phone, or backpack, was discovered. In the days following his disappearance, Daylenn's family revisited the photos he had sent during his hike. In one haunting image, a man appeared crouched in the background, raising concerns that Daylenn may have been followed and possibly harmed. The Honolulu Police Department took this discovery seriously, launching an investigation and issuing an alert to the public for help identifying the man. Although a Reddit user later claimed the man was a friend who had already spoken to the police, this was never officially verified. Authorities ultimately stated that they did not believe foul play was involved. The prevailing theory is that Daylenn slipped and fell off the unstable trail, as many parts had become dangerously eroded. There were unconfirmed reports of a light seen on the mountainside the night after his disappearance, possibly from his iPhone's flashlight, though night hiking was common in the area, and the sighting couldn't be definitively linked to him. Nearly a decade later, the mystery of Daylenn Pua's disappearance remains unsolved. His body and belongings were never recovered, leaving his family with more questions than answers. The haiku stairs, still closed to the public, stand as both a symbol of Hawaii's natural beauty and a reminder of the tragic risks that come with chasing adventure. For Daylenn's loved ones, the hope for closure endures, as they hold tight to the memory of the kind, adventurous young man who set out to conquer the stairway to heaven, but never returned. In the early 20th century, a mysterious figure known as Little Oscar became a fixture of the lore surrounding the Beta Theta chapter of the Delta Tau Delta fraternity at the University of the South. Little Oscar undeniably existed, as photographic evidence attests. One of the most famous images of the mummy was even featured in the October 1940 issue of Life magazine, granting it an eerie kind of fame. Little Oscar, described as approximately 3 feet tall and curled in a fetal position, had skin that appeared cracked, brittle, and rough, resembling something baked and molded. His unsettling appearance added to the intrigue, sparking rumors about his origins. Was this truly an ancient mummified body, or had fraternity students created something far more sinister? Dr. David Hurst, curator of the American Museum of Natural History's Mummies exhibit, may have provided the key to unraveling the mystery. After inspecting photographs of Little Oscar, Hurst suggested that the mummy was not real, but rather an elaborate creation, likely crafted by fraternity students using papier-mâché and other materials. The cracks and texture of the skin, Hurst pointed out, were consistent with artistic crafting rather than authentic mummification. The last known reference to Little Oscar dates to 1952, after which he mysteriously vanished. The prevailing theory is that college students may have stolen the mummy as part of a prank, but its fate remains unknown. To this day, the whereabouts of Little Oscar are lost to history, leaving behind only photographs and a peculiar chapter in the university's strange and fascinating lore. The mysterious death of Janet Johnson, a Denver woman who vanished nearly 50 years ago on Aconcagua, the tallest peak in the Western Hemisphere, has resurfaced following a climber's startling discovery: her long-lost camera, preserved in a receding glacier. This camera, embossed with her name and Denver address, was found in February 2020 on the Polish glacier near the summit of the 22,831-foot-tall Argentine mountain. Johnson's disappearance in 1973, alongside NASA engineer John Cooper, captivated the world, and many speculate that their deaths, officially marked as accidents, may involve foul play. The camera, along with a collection of her belongings, including a decomposed arm, a watch, down mittens, a red jacket, and a canister of Kodak film, was recovered from the glacier. Remarkably well preserved, the film was passed to the New York Times, which published the haunting images as part of a renewed investigation. The collection includes 24 images from the camera and 36 more in the canister, all offering a chilling glimpse into the expedition's final days. The photos document the climbing crew's progression up the mountain, including 3 frames captured the night before Johnson's tragic death. The clarity and composition of the images suggest that Johnson was not suffering from the severe effects of altitude sickness, which commonly impair coordination and judgment. In 1973, an 8-person American expedition aimed to summit Aconcagua, the highest mountain outside the Himalayas. Janet Johnson, a highly experienced climber and one of the first 20 women to conquer all of Colorado's 14,000-foot peaks, was part of the group. However, the climb quickly descended into chaos due to personality conflicts, illness, and varying ability levels, ultimately leading to only 4 team members making a summit attempt. Johnson and Cooper, who had contributed to guiding NASA's lunar module for the Apollo missions, perished just above the high camp under suspicious circumstances. Contradictory accounts from Johnson's colleagues fueled speculation, with some claiming she had fallen down the glacier, leading to her death. Yet when her body was recovered in 1975, investigators found her with a battered face, bloodstains on her jacket, and a large rock placed on her body in the middle of an ice field, details inconsistent with a simple fall. Her arm, left in the ice during recovery, was only found decades later alongside her camera. Cooper's death was equally perplexing. He was discovered frozen on the mountainside during his descent, with an autopsy revealing a mysterious round hole in his abdomen that pierced his spine, an injury that raised doubts about the initial speculation that he had simply fallen onto his ice axe. The unsettling nature of their injuries reignited theories of foul play. Daniel Araujo, an assistant to the medical examiner who performed the autopsies, stated, "They were killed, both of them. These kinds of injuries were not self-inflicted." The possibility of murder, rather than tragic accident, has gained traction with these recent discoveries. However, John Shelton, the last surviving member of the expedition, dismissed the foul play claims as hogwash. The newly recovered photographs offer fresh glimpses into the ill-fated expedition, intensifying the mystery surrounding Johnson and Cooper's deaths. Nearly 5 decades later, the question of what truly happened on Aconcagua remains unsolved, leaving behind more questions than answers. As we wrap up this 4th installment of our exploration into 5 mysterious photos that defy easy explanation, we hope that these photographs in this episode have sparked your curiosity and left you pondering what could be hidden within them. Each photograph carries with it a story, a question, and a sense of intrigue that reminds us of the mysteries still lurking in the shadows of our world. Which photo left the biggest impression on you? We invite you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Fireside Unsolved, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest explorations. Join us next time as we continue to unravel more of the mysterious and unexplained throughout our world and history. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay safe. We'll see you next time. Fireside.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Fireside Unsolved. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Until next time, take it easy and be easy, you filthy bastards.